Nope, don't click away. You read the title right. Upon watching Avengers Infinity War, I was immediately hospitalized. Let me explain. Let me explain myself. This is a storytime video. It's going to be a little bit different than most of my other videos. There's not much happening visually. It's just me talking. So, I don't know. Put this on while you're doing the dishes. Put it on while you're studying. I don't know. Kick back and relax and
listen to my soothing voice.
I don't remember the exact date that I went to see Infinity War, but I know that week we were spending the weekend up in Calgary. We were attending Calgary Expo. For any Americans watching or anyone who doesn't know what Calgary Expo is, it's basically the closest thing Canada gets to a Comic-Con. So we were up there for Calgary Expo that weekend. I had spent the last couple days checking out all the cool booths, all the people dressed up in costumes from their favorite movie or TV series or anime or whatever, because I've never been to a Comic-Con before. This was my first ever exposure to the comic book world, I guess. I'd kind of just lived the comic book world all by myself up until that point, and I'd already seen some really cool stuff while we were there. One of the distinct memories I have was just kind of walking around while all the booths were getting set up, because we got there like a day early, like a day before the convention like opened, and we were just walking around because we had like passes to be there early and just seeing all the booths. And I remember just kind of casually looking to my right, and there was Lou Ferrigno talking to a bunch of employees. For those of you who don't know, Lou Ferrigno, he played the Hulk in a TV show way back in the day when it was just a bodybuilder in green paint. He was the bodybuilder, and that was just mind-blowing to me because he was the first celebrity I'd ever seen in person. It was really cool. And, you know, I saw a whole bunch of other stuff while I was there. I got to take pictures with Jason Momoa and with Jeff Goldblum. That was really cool. I got to attend some Q&As with Jeff Goldblum, Elijah Wood, Lou Ferrigno. It was, all in all, just a very overwhelming experience for me at the time. Like, I'd never been to anything like that before, and just being like shoulder to shoulder with people who were equally obsessed with comic books and movies and all that stuff, and being exposed to celebrities for the first time, and just the whole scale of it all. I was just already like, and then that weekend in the evening, we went to the theater to go see Avengers Infinity War for the first time because it was just airing at the time. So this was a couple of years ago. I was feeling really nervous because Infinity War was meant to be like the big culmination movie, right? Everything was coming together. I'd seen the trailers. I'd been hyped for it for months. And so, you know, I felt a little nervous. I was getting a little like rocks in my stomach. I was just really nervous about what this movie was gonna be, what it was gonna mean. I wasn't prepared for what it was, because what it was ruined me, and we'll get to that. So we got into the theater. I used a gift card, and I ordered one of those like tall Cokes in one of those big cups. It had the Infinity War on it, and I got a little Thanos figurine that sits on top of the cup. I decided to treat myself. The cup's actually just up there on the shelf. I'm actually gonna grab it. Here it is. This is the cup I got that day. I got Thanos on top, and it's a Avengers Infinity War cup. It's pretty cool. So we went into the movie, and the movie started going. I was immediately just... Because the movie, if you've watched it, it starts off really intense. Like, they just kind of drop you right into it, and then you're just kind of expected to go along with it. So it was very overwhelming, and I'd already had a very overwhelming weekend. So I was fine. I still had crazy butterflies in my stomach. They lasted basically the entire movie, because I genuinely did not know what was going to happen. This was like the Super Bowl for me. This was bigger than the Super Bowl for me. I don't really care about football. So midway through the movie, I couldn't tell you when exactly through the movie, I started getting this sensation. It started like in my fingers and started spreading up my arms. It was just like a tingling sensation, like they were falling asleep. Like it started, my fingers felt like they were falling asleep, and then it spread up my arm and then into my shoulder. I've never experienced that before. I should preface, it wasn't like a heart attack like I'm making it sound with the spreading up my arm thing. It wasn't a heart attack or anything like that. But I started getting that sensation, and the rocks in my stomach were just kind of like really, really going to town on my innards. Eventually, that tingling sensation had spread all over my body. My whole body just felt like it was going into shock. It was all asleep. It was all tingly. It was super weird. And I started losing motor control on my fingers. They started like clenching up. And so I didn't know what was happening. And also, I really had to go to the bathroom. And normally I hold it. And for Infinity War, I definitely would have held it, because this movie is something I'd been waiting for like 10 years. I would have held it, but I was also experiencing all these symptoms. I was confused. I didn't know what to do, and I also didn't want to worry anyone that I was with. So I got up to go to the bathroom, which was a real travesty because I missed this scene. I missed this part of the movie, and I really wish I'd got to see that in theaters. But I went to the bathroom. I did my stuff. I also tried to just do breathing exercises, try to calm myself down, try to contain whatever this sensation was that was spreading all over. And it did numb. After I stopped to breathe for a second. When I was feeling better, I went back into the theater, and I managed to catch the end of the battle on Titan, which was good because I didn't want to miss the whole thing, but I missed this. So that's a regret I have. Then we went on with the rest of the movie. As if you've seen the movie, by the end you're just kind of destroyed, because I guess it's not really spoiler alert. The movie happened years ago. Thanos wins, and half of the heroes that you've grown to love over the decade die, which was not expected. I didn't expect that to happen. It hit everyone in the theater hard. Everyone in the theater was really hype. I remember they would cheer whenever someone came in or something awesome happened. They would laugh whenever something funny happened. It was a really engaged audience, and those are the kinds of audiences that I like to have for movies of this scale. When Thanos snapped his fingers and characters started dying off, the sensation started coming back. It was kind of dread mixed with nervousness, but the sensation, again, it started in my fingers and spread through my entire body. It spread through my face, down my legs. It was weird. And I started having the same motor control thing, but it didn't hit as strong as it had before. The movie ends, the credits roll. The post-credit scene teases the next MCU movie, as they always do. And then it went to black, and we exited the theater. Or I should say, we exited the theater and went into the main lobby of the actual theater. We just went there and we started processing what we had just seen. We were excited, we were terrified, we were sad, and we started processing. And I started feeling lightheaded. I wouldn't have thought anything of it, because sometimes when you sit up too fast you get a little and you just have to sit down for a second, or you have to steady yourself for a second. But that, combined with the sensation that I was feeling all over my body, I started feeling woozy, feeling faint. I was I told the people I was with, I told my family, I have to sit down. I have to sit down. And so I take a seat, I try and steady my breathing, and they're a little concerned at this point because I've never done this before. It's not something I do typically. And then I started experiencing a full loss of function in my hands. My hands started to claw up, and they were shaking, and they were they were refusing to open. My hands were just like turning into claws. I didn't know what was happening to me. I was starting to like seize up, and I was losing control of my arms and my hands, and I was feeling this sensation that wouldn't go away. It just got stronger. Like my whole body was buzzing almost. So, not knowing what it was, we immediately left the theater from watching Infinity War, and I went to the nearest hospital. I basically spent the entire night there because there were only a couple doctors on staff, because it was midnight or something. It was midnight when we got out of the theater. So I was in the hospital at midnight. There were 2 doctors on staff, and I didn't receive attention until I want to say 2 or 3 in the morning. They had me seated in a bed, but I couldn't sleep. I was processing the movie, and 2, I was calming down from what had happened, because by then my symptoms were starting to fade away. I think as I became more relaxed, but they did their thing. They strapped me to an EKG. They put all the patches all over my body and got all the information they needed from that. They didn't really say what happened. They just kind of said I was in good health, and they moved me along. They sent me on my way. So we got back to where we were staying at 6 in the morning. So I fell asleep because I had not gotten a wink of sleep that entire night, because I was in a hospital and I can't sleep in hospitals. Eventually, we took the information from that night and we went to see our family doctor here in town. What he said, based on what I'd experienced, is I just had a lack of carbon dioxide in my bloodstream, because apparently you're supposed to have at least some amount of carbon dioxide in your blood. I was having an imbalance, and that started to make these symptoms manifest. It's caused by hyperventilation. Yeah, it's caused by hyperventilation, which is fair, because I probably was hyperventilating throughout the entire movie. I definitely wasn't breathing properly throughout the entire movie. I was kind of holding my breath, going from gasp to gasp, honestly. That's most likely what caused it, just a CO2 deficiency and hyperventilation leading to these symptoms, which were so strange. I've only experienced it twice in my life. I experienced it one other time after I saw the movie, after hours of very, very strenuous physical activity. And not to say that strenuous physical activity will lead to these symptoms. I was likely just breathing improperly throughout the whole ordeal. But since then, I've been able to do activities just fine without any issues. So there you have it. That's my story for today. Infinity War put me in the hospital. Since then, I've been very mindful of my breathing throughout movies, because I want to avoid doing that again, because it has a tendency to freak people out who are around me. The last time I had this kind of episode, I was with 2 of my friends, and they were freaking out. What happened to me is not deadly. I wasn't worried at all when it happened, but they'd never seen me like this. They'd never seen symptoms like that before. So they were understandably freaked out. If you guys are watching this video, I'm okay now. I've never had an episode after that. But that's my story. Infinity War put me in the hospital. I hope this was entertaining. I don't know how many more storytime videos I will ever do, because my life is not that interesting. This was an anomalous event that I wanted to share with you guys. Thank you guys for watching. I don't know, like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you like all my other videos. I don't normally do this format for a video, but I'm running out of ideas. I'm recording this the day before it's released, so by the time you're watching this, I was recording it yesterday. I ran out of videos on my backlog, and I'm also running out of ideas. I'll keep doing this for as long as I can. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video, which is going to be interesting. Bye.